What's going on, everybody? We are back. Hard pass, NFL spotlight, Cleveland Browns edition. He had a lot of shit going on with the Browns in the offseason, and we all know why. The elephants in the room. What's going on, Remy? How you doing, brother?
Oh, you know me, man. Living the dream.
You ready to talk some Cleveland Browns?
Another day talking football. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And we'll start with, what is your opinion of the Cleveland Browns?
This is a very talented roster, top to bottom, with the biggest question mark in the most important position. So, it's tough, man, because without that suspension looming over Deshaun Watson's head, 11 games, this team would be a very, very strong team up and down.
Yeah, I remember us talking about the Browns in the past couple of years, and we're like, man, this roster's so cracked, but you just had the quarterback issue with, it was Baker in the past, and he had a banged up shoulder. Now, of course, they go out and they give Deshaun Watson everything he ever wanted, lock him up, guarantees so much, it's crazy amount of money. And I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to turn out.
It's tough. Yeah, just looking at this team, like you said, if you look almost everywhere else, it's going to be really tough to judge what this team's going to be through the first 11 games. So,
yeah,
we'll find out. But what we're about to do is talk about how they rank as far as these position groups. They're going to be really high in a lot of positions. Just looking up and down this roster, offensively, defensively, they've got a lot of good going for them. I think they have some questions as far as who's catching passes, but
I think they're a little weak in that position. They've gotten a little weak there as the years go on. But what they have is two great running backs and a really good offensive line, so they can maybe run the ball. They have a good defense. I really like what they got going on that side of the ball, of course. So let's dive into it. QBs.
Let's just jump right in.
QBs.
Because of the 11-game suspension.
Yeah.
So 2/3 of the season, you don't get Deshaun Watson. And it looks like they're going to be content with throwing out Jacoby Brissett. There was, the media talking about they should trade for Jimmy Garoppolo and all that stuff. To me, it's too late. By the time he would get in there and learn the offense, truly learn the offense.
Where does Garoppolo end up going? It's crazy.
I mean, they're going to have to cut him. The Niners are just going to end up having to cut him. But I think, dude, I watched Jacoby Brissett as a Dolphins fan last year, and he is what he is. He is a backup that
he's a guy that can maybe get you a game when you need him in a spot.
A spot guy. He ain't 2/3 of the season guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to hurt this team. Up and down, very good roster. Jacoby Brissett, I don't think is enough to push that roster into being a championship contending team. If he can get them to, if they're 500 by the time Watson comes back, then maybe they make some noise. But I put this quarterback room, if you're throwing Brissett out there, this is last in the division to
me. Yeah, but we remember we gave the Steelers last.
I know, but I'm saying 11 games through, this is the worst quarterback room. Now, you get Watson.
It's the third. We'll say
5 games, 6 games. It'll bump them into being the third best because Watson, of course, is just a lot better than what Pittsburgh's throwing out there. So until Watson comes back, it's the worst. Once Watson comes back, it pushes them into a whole different category because he's very talented.
But also, he's very talented, but him himself is going to have to knock some rust off.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be basically almost 2 years. It's going to be almost
that's a long time without seeing live bullets. But yeah, I think we're having it third here in the division. Yeah. Their strength is their running back group, and we'll move right into it. Nick Chubb, we had the Kareem Hunt stuff where Kareem Hunt was wanting a trade. They're
That
not
seems
going to
to die
trade
down.
Kareem
Yeah,
Hunt.
I don't think they're moving him.
They know how much they need both of these guys. Both of these guys will get 1,000 rushing yards and like a crazy amount of touchdowns. Like that's how much they run the football.
Yeah, first in the division.
First in the division.
Not really particularly close. This is the best 1-2 punch in the NFL. And Dearness Johnson last year proved himself as well. So I mean,
yeah,
they go 3 deep at this position, which not many teams can bolster 3 deep at running back.
And they're going to need them. Like they're going to have to lean on these dudes big time because Jacoby Brissett doesn't push the ball down the field. He's like you said, he's a very, very, and this is being very kind to him, is saying he's a game manager because he's almost not even that.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, they're gonna have to run. They're gonna have to run the ball a lot. And part of that's gonna be
they might run the option.
And it's not just this, and I say they're gonna have to run the ball a lot, not only because of the quarterback position, but also these pass catchers. When you look at this room of pass catchers, this is such a crazy transformation for me because the last couple of years we've gone into the season with Cleveland having Odell, Jarvis Landry.
I mean,
just plethora of pass catchers.
You have Amari Cooper, and I like Amari Cooper. I just never think he's a number one.
Yeah.
He's just not really a number one.
He flashes. He has moments where he looks like he's a top tier receiver. And then he has games where he disappears. He did it for years with the Cowboys and the Raiders. You have games with him where you're like, man, this guy is legit. And then you just have games where he doesn't catch the ball.
Dude, I'm putting him at 4.
Yeah. Just looking at the pass catching. I mean, it's tough.
It's tough with them and the Ravens. Yeah. But I really like the tight end they have. I think that's the biggest upgrade.
The thing is going to be Njoku. The story with David Njoku with the Browns has been such a weird story.
It's so strange.
They draft him in the first round.
He doesn't
really pop to begin with. So then they go and give Austin Hooper all that money.
Bench him.
Njoku the backup.
But then Njoku plays more snaps.
Requests a trade. They don't trade him. Now they let Hooper go, give Njoku a bunch of money to stay. And now he's back to being the number one tight end. I think he has all the talent in the world as a pass catcher, but as a franchise, they've shown past several years they don't care for him that much.
Yeah, I just think if he's as good as, I mean, clearly you look at him, he's freaking nature. He's fast, he's strong, he can jump, he can block. I just think if he was good, he would already be good.
Yeah,
he would already done it. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with the 4th. I will say
it's tough. It's close. It's
Baltimore
almost like
better be glad of what they got rocking at tight end because
it's like I said. It's almost like 3A, 3B.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Amari Cooper's better than any receiver that the Ravens have, but Mark Andrews is another level. I'll give you 4.
Yeah, Mark Andrews is one of the best tight ends in the league. And also, maybe Bateman has a big. We'll come to the Ravens here. Next, but so we're coming 4th at pass catching.
Mm-hmm.
So your QB room's 3rd. Yeah, the best running back room. Where are we saying about this offensive line? Bona fide studs on this offensive line.
This offensive line is very good. This is the best offensive line in the division.
Yeah, one of the best ones in the NFL.
Yeah, probably one of the better ones in the NFL. Now they did lose their center.
They did.
Second play of the first preseason game for the whole season. Part of me still feels like they're going to call J.C. Treader out of free agency and get him to come back because you look at this offensive line. I mean, it's nuts. The whole offensive line outside that center position right now they're good football players.
Yeah.
So this is maybe best offensive line in the league, but definitely best one in the division.
Right, for sure. And then what's good at the defense here? They run a base 4-3. D, as it says there, their D line is, I mean, it's the best in the division.
You've got arguably the best duo of pass rushers in the league with Myles Garrett, who is arguably the single best pass rusher. Him and TJ Watt take that argument, and then Clowney on the other end. Really, the 2 D tackles, you just got to be there to take up space. Taven Bryan is an interesting name. He was a first-round pick from the Jaguars several years back. Never really broke in with the Jaguars, which is crazy because they've been terrible.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you hope you bring in a guy, a high pick like that, hope you get something out of him.
He's going to have double
but-
digit sacks this year.
I mean,
Gotta
yeah.
be.
probably. I mean, this D line is crazy. So yeah, best D line in the division.
In the division. You rush the passer, you get out the passer, you're going to have a chance in any game. It don't matter who's, if you can block and you can get out, it's all about the trenches in the NFL for
Yep.
sure. So we love the D line. How about the backers? They got some interesting names at the backer position.
Yeah, of course, the Joker right there. That's the big one.
This kid is a monster.
He is a very good football player. He fell in the draft due to a heart issue.
Mm-hmm.
He was a projected first round pick, fell to Cleveland in, I think, the second round.
Yep.
And when he came in, when he started for this team, he was a difference maker. He's a hell of a football player.
Yeah, he is a beast.
Get a full season of him, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nice. Now the other two linebackers, Anthony Walker is he's
solid.
He's just been solid. He used to
Nothing
play for
crazy.
The Colts.
Yeah.
Just a solid middle linebacker guy that goes and gets you a bunch of tackles, stops the run.
Right.
Not great in pass coverage. So he's not a 3-down backer. He's a first and second down kind of guy. But I mean, he just looking at his numbers over the past several years, 115 tackle guy. Solid player.
Yeah, solid. So what are we saying about their backers?
Looking at the rest of the backers in the division, I will put them.
I think this is a promising group. I just don't have them at too high up there.
Yeah, it's tough because it's crazy because we're gonna get into the
third.
Bengals. If we're gonna get into the Bengals and the defense is loaded with just names you haven't really heard, but they just perform.
They do better, yeah.
They just perform. Third, yeah.
So we'll say third in the backers. The secondary, though. Grant Delpit, you have John Johnson third. Of course, you have Denzel Ward, who is a star.
Yeah.
This dude right here is a rock star.
Yep.
It's interesting. We have, what are we thinking about the secondary here?
So, I really like this secondary. If Baltimore's secondary is healthy, it's a better secondary than this one.
Yeah.
But this one is very good.
I'm thinking two.
I'm thinking two as well. A lot of that is going to come down to the health of Baltimore secondary because they've been injured. But if they're healthy, Baltimore's better than this. But this is still a very good secondary.
Denzel what's Ward, crazy is before we give our overall record wins for this team, there's a lot of ones on the sheet, a lot of ones and twos. So, we have the best running back group, we have the best offensive line group, we have the best D-line group, you have the second best secondary group. A lot of really good, strong positions. And we're not talking like best these are some of the better ones in the league.
In the league, yes. Not just the division, in the league. And that's why it's really tough to tell what this team is going to be this season.
I think we're going to have to go to the schedule here, Remy. I know we haven't done it yet, but I think I'm going to have to.
Also, they have Greedy Williams in that secondary too. This secondary is going to be nice.
I think we're going to have to go to the secondary schedule.
This team's going to win some games. It's just
so he's coming back this
against
the Texans. Back this week. Yep. The Texans.
That's his first game back, of course.
Okay.
His old team.
So let's start off by saying I think they lose at Carolina. Actually,
is that a homer pick?
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's probably going to be like
it is a Baker revenge game, and I'm a big revenge game guy.
I think Carolina's got a sneaky good defense this year, and I think we're going to, let's be honest, they could come in and run for 300 yards and win the football game with nothing at quarterback because their team is that talented also, like we said. But I think Carolina wins this game, so I'm going to say they start off 0-1.
I think Cleveland wins that game because and I'll tell you just a little watching y'all play. The future is bright for the kid, but the rookie left tackle struggled.
He got
in
beat,
the
he got
preseason
beat pretty
game.
good.
He got beat pretty good. And
So you're
that's
saying
gonna
they
be
start
Myles
4-0?
Garrett week 1.
You saying they start 4-0?
3-1 maybe. They're gonna lose one of these games. Pittsburgh will beat them.
No, they're gonna lose to Carolina. All right, either way, we'll come to it. We come to it. So I say 3-1. Blues. So 3-2. What about New England? That's a tough one. At home?
That's a tough one. Probably Jacoby Brissett revenge game.
Yeah.
Loss. I think
So
New England's
3-3.
Mhm.
Baltimore lost 3-4. Cincinnati lost 3-5. 3-6. 3-7. Tampa?
They're gonna. I mean, I don't want to say they're going to be 3-7, 3-8 going into Sean's first game. I think they'll win a couple more of these games. That stretch is brutal, but
I don't think so. You're giving this roster too much credit for how bad the pass catchers are and the QB room is.
I mean, but it's the NFL, dude. They can shut one of these teams down.
So what? They win 4 games up until here. They don't win more. They don't win 5. I'm not saying they're 5-win team with Jacoby Brissett.
They'll sneak one of these other ones in. They'll have 4 wins when Deshaun.
So let's say
back.
4. They'll beat Houston, right?
Yep.
So that's 5. They'll lose at Cincinnati. Home against Baltimore. They'll win that game. 6, 7 New Orleans. 8 Washington, 9. They win 9 football games.
Yeah, that was, just looking at the roster, I was going to say 9. Looking at the schedule, I want to say 8.
Right. I'm going to say 9. I don't think we're
I'm going to go 8. That's an 8-win team.
We're going to say 9 because I wrote it down. But that's it for the NFL spotlight on the Doo-Doo Browns. We'll holler at you next time with the Ravens. Peace.
Peace.
Later.